A game I'm super excited about is Watch Dogs Legion, guys. This is a game that looks absolutely incredible. I mean, it easily looks like the best game in the franchise because Watch Dogs, guys, has always been very intriguing to me. It had a lot of those similar types of movement and such as The Division, which is, of course, another Ubisoft game. But there was something about Watch Dogs I thought that seemed like it had something to it. There was something there that really could be something special, but I felt like each edition of the game, which of course we've had two up to this point, just didn't really meet expectation, or it didn't really get to where it could have been. That being a pretty big franchise. Now, obviously, Watch Dogs is big enough because Ubisoft is making another game, right? So this is going to be the third game in the franchise. But I think that Watch Dogs Legion, it could redefine the franchise in a number of ways. That not being just a story mode or like a full-fledged out story mode that I think is going to be really well done. I just do. I mean, because when I'm looking at it, London seems like an interesting point in time to be there and to be able to explore those streets and just really get completely immersed in this world of Watch Dogs Legion. You look at Watch Dogs 2, I believe that was based in Chicago, was it? Which didn't really... Not that Chicago is a boring place, because I love Chicago. I've gone there a number of times, and I think it's a great city. But in a video game, it just wasn't that great of a city to have a video game based in, for one reason or another. That being said, though, Watch Dogs Legion, obviously, I think is taking that next step. It's going to London. I think that's going to be something really interesting around the Brexit time. I think that when you look at a number of different angles here, this game could redefine the franchise, not only within the campaign mode, but the multiplayer modes as well. Now, we don't know everything yet about the game. It's not something that they have given us a ton of information on. We've seen gameplay, we've seen trailers and things of that nature. What's really cool, though, is you can really recruit other people into your group. And that is something that I think might be really interesting as you're playing. The same thing can be said with like the multiplayer. I'm assuming that you're going to be able to recruit people to your clan or to your group as you go through the multiplayer. And then on top of that, I think they learned that with Watch Dogs 2, there were some modes that people really liked, but man, at this point, guys, I can't believe how dead the viewership of Watch Dogs 2 and Watch Dogs is, like on Twitch and other places. People just don't really watch, people streaming the game. And that's really unfortunate because I think that this is a game that's one step from being the next really big franchise out there. And Watch Dogs Legion, I think, could very well be that if it is, released in a way in which, obviously, it's not going up against a ton of other competition, and it's obviously a game that I think if they really show us exactly what we're going to be getting with the multiplayer modes, co-op modes, and the campaign, to show that it's different at least from the first two Watch Dogs game, even though it may still have that same, main coat on top of it, it at least has enough differences to keep you coming back to the game. Because I think the most important thing here is having people come back to the franchise. The first two Watch Dogs had a full package. It was, they had a multiplayer, they had different ways that you could connect with the franchise. But I think the biggest thing with Legion is not only like co-op, playing with your friends and really like recruiting people into your clan, and we'll see how that, turns out. But it's also that I think the campaign looks great, graphically looks amazing. But on top of that, the multiplayer experience, I think, is what's going to bring people back, depending on all the different modes that they bring out. And I'm really excited about it. I really am. I think this could be, and this is their chance at making Watch Dogs a main name within gaming. And I really believe that, guys. I think that it looks very intriguing. I'm very interested. When the first Watch Dogs came out and Watch Dogs 2 came out, I just wasn't, I thought they look good. I'll probably play them at some point. I'll rent them and play them and see what they're all about. And I did exactly that. And they were exactly what I thought they would be. They were good. They weren't like terrible or anything. They were good games, but I just felt like they didn't reach the full potential that they had. But I think Legion very well might be able to reach that potential and make this go from a game that that has a solid community to one that may have a much bigger community at the end of it. So with that being said, though, guys, I want to hear from all of you. What are you most excited about with Watch Dogs Legion? Let me know in the comment section below. And for more Watch Dogs Legion content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.